Hello, everybody. I'm back to play some more rapid chess. A lot of players online, so quick pairing and a high rated opponent. All right, so I think I said in the previous game we're going to be sticking to some typical openings, and one of them is the Caro-Kann. I laughed a bit there because f4 is a bit of a funny move, and allowing us to take on e4. I think we're supposed to take that. Normally they play e5, and then I would consider something like c5, but something like this, yeah, we'll take it. I imagine there's going to be some sort of in-between move. I also imagine that e5 is a possibility here. And if bishop c4, maybe knight h6 could be played. And then I would have bishop to g4 in the future. So I'm going to play that. e5. It's kind of similar to some sort of king's gambit. Maybe we'll see castles here. But then I would have check. So instead we see that. And I'm trying to do some calculation here. So this feels so suspicious, so wrong for white to play in this way. So I'm immediately looking for tactics. I don't think this works. I just get blocked. Queen d4. There might be d3. There might be bishop to d3. One thing is for certain is that if I don't do anything, white can't castle so easily because of queen check. I'd like to play bishop g4, and then there's bishop e2. So it's hard to pick. I don't have a lot of time to waste here trying to find the refutation either, which is a shame. Bishop f5 looks interesting as well. I'd like to have this square for my bishop, so that's why I'm trying to move the knight away. I think this looks fine. Bishop g4, it's very forcing. Bishop e2 is forced. And I can decide what to do from there. I don't think I would take. I would probably support it in some way, like queen check, and then come here. So g3 and then queen h5. Actually, this is a bit risky by me. I don't know why I was so keen to play this. Well, that's a bit of a weird move because I just take here. And now we're really starting to split up the position. Castling, well, right now the threat is f3, which is missed by my opponent. Bishop f1, I have f2. This is game over. What a weird game. Oh man, I really have to I have a lot of questions. But shame on my opponent for playing this way and not taking any time to figure things out. I really dislike it when my opponents just play um, not at random, but with reckless abandon. Because I try so hard to play my best, especially the longer the time control is, that it just feels like it's not a genuine accomplishment if my opponent doesn't fight back. So here there's a double check threat, which is a bit annoying. So a move like this isn't good enough. There's double check and then the queen comes in. That's a bit worrisome. I can play bishop e7, knight d6, and then just sidestep, and then the knight's in danger. And I'm not so worried about him taking on b7. It's not like he has a lot of time to go grabbing my pawns. So I think that's reasonable. You can go ahead and come after my pawn. I mean, otherwise I'm going to castle here. So I have an option now. After knight takes, can't try to be tricky. I have bishops can go backwards. Trying to be tricky anyways. I mean, I don't blame him. It's not like there's a lot of choice here. Although, on f5, what's the idea? If the knight moves, then I'm really crashing through. So he'd have to pin the pawn, which he could only do from a couple squares. So yeah, option 1 is f5. I can also play knight f5. Sorry, I'm being quiet here. Let's see, f5, queen f2, and then I just sidestep again. And then the knights are like, what's going on? Looks winning. Actually, there's knight c1 now, but that's not a huge problem. Sorry, knight c8. Sometimes I flip the first and the 8th rank in my head. I'm never really worried about this because even if... Okay, well, this is... What can we say about queen takes e2? Well, very happy to get the rating off of this guy, but I think even a win like how can you be happy with a game like that? Maybe this is personal opinion, but I think a 15 move game like that, it's not the same as if I'd had some sort of excellent preparation and could be proud of some effort I put in. This was just my opponent maybe day drinking. So let's see. Oh, this is interesting. I actually had a lapse here. I made a mistake, so that's going to be crucial to learn from. So yeah, opening wise, Yeah, knight of three, and you're supposed. I mean, there are other moves you could play, but yeah, you basically have to take and should take. And I like the move e5. It just the computer seems to corroborate that. It just makes a lot of sense to just bust open the center. Obviously, white can't take that without losing the knight. Bishop c4 I saw would be met by knight h6. Knight takes e4. I liked bishop g4. I took a moment to think about that, but it just makes the most sense to me. You can think of it as just playing like the tempo move, but at this point, yeah, fast development, and I can't bring my dark square bishop out to a square I'm happy with yet. So yeah, no, queen h4. I as soon as I played this and then played to h5, I had second thoughts. I thought that I started seeing that this could actually just be a problem. Like imagine not there because I could trade everything, but yeah, problems with the e5 square. I'm being really aggressive here. So what would I play instead? I could take. Oh, computer's saying f5 is best. Yeah, f5 makes a lot of sense. It's a different conception of counterattack than this. Often, like my idea wasn't to play bishop g4, bishop e2, and then trade, and then suddenly have problems on the e file. I always wanted to maintain this here and force some concession by white, or I mean that was part of why I hesitated so much on bishop g4 was I saw like okay, well we get to here, and then if I am I just compelled to take? That's not what I had in mind. So what I should have seen here then was f5. f5 really stands out. f5, if you take, I can take like this, and oh, I didn't even see that that was the computer line. Yeah, so queen e2, I can. It's not the easiest, but I mean these moves aren't like how hard are these moves to find? Queen e2. Okay, well I should have posed the file. I should recapture that. I should protect my pawn. I don't know if I would have played knight g4. I feel like my intuition would have been bishop g7. But then there's d4. So actually this makes some sense. Takes, takes. Yeah, and black doesn't even need to play bishop to g7, although I probably would. Yeah, very slightly better for black kind of game because the black pieces are going to be better. So, well, that's one for the books. Brings us closer to 2400 at any rate. So, thank you for watching. Uh, what you can take away from this is what can you take away from this? Don't play with reckless abandon in the opening, even with white. This is a pretty desperate attempt to avoid theory. There are much safer ways of avoiding theory than this, which we can see when I play the white pieces. I play pretty, or at least I've been playing pretty non-aggressive, solid positions. So shame on my opponent. This was a deserved win for black. So thank you. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you in the next game.